Hi there, I'm Pam Carr, and I'm going to show you how to make the Diane Beanie today. This is made out of this lovely pink Karen Simply Soft acrylic yarn, which is a 4-weight, worsted weight 4, and then I've got some scissors, an eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook, and a yarn needle. And this is called the Diane Beanie because it's made especially for blog hop all around supporting cancer survivors, and I'll put some details about it in the description below, and I'm dedicating this one to my friend Diane, who is an amazing woman who survived breast cancer and is a real inspiration to others. So I'm going to go and get started. And one thing that I want to say after having made the beanie is that if you're making it for a smaller woman's head or a teen, you might want to stop increasing at row 10 and then carry on as the pattern says to go up to round 33, okay? So this one I stopped increasing at round 11, and it makes an you know, a larger size woman's circumference. So that was just a bit of advice I want to give you before we get into this, but otherwise follow the instructions as they are, and if you want a smaller beanie, just stop when you get up to 60 stitches instead of going up to 66, okay? And enjoy this tutorial. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a magic loop, and I do actually have a tutorial on here showing you how to make a magic loop, but this is how I do it. I put it under the X, pull that one through, and thread it through like that, and that's my magic loop. Okay, so once I've made my magic loop, I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to single crochet, make 6 single crochets into the ring. This is a brand new pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this is a different to many of my top-down hats that I've designed in the past, because this one's going to be all in single crochets. So once we've finished our 6, we can go into those 2 threads from the first one, and we're going to slip stitch them together, and that's our little center for our hat. Okay, now for round 2, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets into each of the 6 stitches around. Okay, so that's 1, 2 into the first one, and then 2 into the next one, 3, 4, and then 2 into the next stitch, 5, 5, 6. Just gonna have to pull some more yarn out. It's wanting to tangle. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first, well, it's actually the chain 1, but there you go. All right, and we're going to chain 1, and this is where we go a little bit different. I'm just going to sort my yarn. This is round 3. I've just sorted my yarn out. I've chained 1, okay, and I'm doing 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1, 2 into the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch, okay, and then 2 into the next stitch, single crochet, and 1 into the next stitch. So this is the pattern: 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, and 1 into the next stitch. So we're going to go all the way around like that, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of our chain 1. Okay. We've got 18 stitches now, and we chain 1, can count them as we go around. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 stitches. Okay, so I've chained one again, and this is going to be round 4. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then single crochet once into the following 2 stitches. Okay, so this is the one we did the 2 in. So we're going to do 2 in there, 1, 2, and then a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. All right, and then 1, 2 into the next stitch, and then a single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches all the way around. Okay, so into the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet into the same stitch. This is our increase, right? And then 1 into the next stitch and 1 into the next one, always into the next 2. Okay, so go around and I'll meet you at the end of this round. End of round 4, you should have 24 stitches, which we have. I've just counted, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top. Oh, sorry, here. Slip stitch into that top of the chain 1. All right, slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1. We can check if you like. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 stitches. All right, so I've chained 1, ready for round 5. This time we're going to single crochet 2 stitches into the first stitch, and then single crochet 1 stitch into each of the next 3. So we're going to carry on with this pattern. Next row it will be 4 stitches that we'll do a single crochet, and then we'll keep going until we have it the right size for our hat. Okay, so right now we're going to be doing 2 single crochet into the first. That's easy. 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. 1 in the next one, 1 in the next one, 1 in the next one. And then we're going to go 2 into the next one, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 3 stitches. So we can count 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 2 into the next one, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, and keep going until we finish this. To the end, and I've joined it with a slip stitch. I'll show you how I do that. I join it with a slip stitch into that top of that first row there, and then I chain 1, and that's round 5. And on round 5 we should have 30 stitches. Okay, so the next round we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do a single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 2 single crochet, and you can see that the previous row is where you've had 2 single crochets, so these 2 double single crochets sort of line up. Okay, so there's 2 in there, and now we're going to go 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look closely, you'll see that the row below, there's the 2 into the one before. So this is another one where you're going to go 2 into that one, and then 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. And we're going to carry around 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of round 6. Okay, here we're coming up to our 4th single crochet, and then we're going to join it to the top there. That's round 6. Now we're going to do round 7, chain 1, single crochet 2 into the first one. You'll see right there, there's 2 in there, so you're going to make it right on top of those 2. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are here at the previous row where they did 2 double crochets, so we're going to go into the top of that. It's like a V. We're going to make 2 single crochets, not doubles. Sorry, 2 single crochets, and then we're going to go single crochet in each of the next 5. And you can see what's happening. It's sort of getting this shape to it. Okay, once we get it wide enough, we can start going straight down, but this is the crown of the hat. Okay, so we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just check, because below you should see 2 double crochets in there, so we're going to do 2 in there, and then a single crochet in each of the next 5, and then 2 in the next one, all the way around. Now we're up to 42 stitches going around. Now for round 8, we're going to chain 1, 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. So you get how this pattern is working. Okay, so I've chained 1. I'm going to do 2 double crochets, and then double crochet 1 stitch into each of the next 6 stitches. Okay, and follow that pattern all the way around. 2 into one of them, and then 6 into each of the next ones around. Okay, and I'll catch you at the end. We are at the end, and we can slip stitch and chain 1. Okay, and it's starting to look like this. You want to check that you've got 8 rounds. This really tiny one in the middle here, that's the first one. Okay, and then we can count outwards from there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 rounds, and we should be at 48 stitches if we count all our stitches going around. Okay, so I've chained 1, ready to start the next one. This is round 9. I chained 1. We're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches, and repeat that pattern. 2 into the next stitch, then 1 into each of the next 7 stitches. Okay, so we'll do that all the way around for this next round, which is round 9. So here we are at the end, and once again I've just done the slip stitch in here into the first stitch. You always just go into that first little stitch there to slip stitch them together. Then we chain 1. And now we're going to be going on to round 10, where we do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then we single crochet 1 single crochet into each of the 8 stitches. Okay, so we start off, we go 2 into the first one, and then we're going to do 8 single crochets into the next 8 stitches, 1 into each stitch. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go 2 into the next one and carry on in that pattern. 8 more singles and then 2 into the next one. Okay, this makes for a kind of a nice light little hat. Okay, so carry on, and I'll meet you around at the end. 2 single crochets into the next one, then 8 into each of the next 8 stitches. Okay, 1 stitch into each of the next 8. Now we should have 60 stitches going around on our round 10 if we count. And this is going to be our next, round 11 is going to be our last increasing row, unless you want to make it a larger size. Okay, you can keep doing that kind of increase. This one we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then single crochet into each of the next 9, and this is going to be our final one. But if you wanted to go on and carry on, then you would do a single crochet into each of the next 10, into the next 11, if you wanted to have a uniform increase like we've been doing. Okay, so we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next one, and then we're going to single crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. Okay, and then carry on that pattern. 2 single crochets into the next one, 1 single crochet into each of the next 9 all the way around, and we should have 66, and then we can start doing the straight. Okay, so here we are at the end of that round. I think it was round 11 where we were doing 9 single crochets in between the 2 single crochet increases. So we should have 66 stitches. So I'm just going to slip stitch into that top, and you can count to make sure you've got 66, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Each of these is a stitch, okay? And so make sure you've got 66 stitches. Now for round 12, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the first stitch and into every stitch around. So that means you're going to be making 66 crochet single crochets all the way around, okay? And then after that, you're going to just chain slip stitch it to join like we've done before. So I'll go and I'll do this round of single crochet, and I'll show you how we're going to carry on for the rest of the hat. It's really, really easy from this point on because we're not doing any more increases. Okay, so we're going to single crochet all the way around this 66 stitches on this round 12. So we're coming up to the end of round 12 where we're single crocheting all the way around, okay? And this is where we slip stitch into the top, all right, to join them together. And then we're going to be doing round 13. And round 13 until round 33 is exactly what we just did for round 12. So we chain 1, we single crochet around the 66 stitches, and then we slip stitch into the top of the chain 1, we chain 1 and do another round of 66, slip stitch into the top of the chain 1, chain 1, all the way around for 33 rounds, okay, on those 66 stitches. And I'll tell you what we're going to do in round 34 when we get to the end, okay? So I'll see you back after you've done a lot more rows. Okay, take care. Just finished the end of row 33, and I'm going to slip stitch into that one and chain 1. Now we're starting row 34, okay? The easiest way to keep track is just to make a little line every time you do a row, or you can just count up each of those little holes there. That's a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 each. You can count up the rows. Anyway, this is row 34, and what we're going to do for row 34 is we're going to single crochet into the back loop. So let's look at this, and there's 2 stitches there. There's the front and the back of the same stitch. This is 1 stitch, right? So we're going to go into the back loop only and do a single crochet, and the back loop only and do a single crochet, and look into those 2, go into the back, the stitch that's the furthest away from you when you're looking down on the V of the stitch. And we're going to go all the way around there into that back. If you were doing front loop only, you'd look down at the V and you would go into the front, but we're doing the back loop only, okay? This is going to make a nice little edging to the hat. And you can do this tightly if you like. You can sort of tighten up your tension a bit because it helps it to cling on to the forehead. Not super tight, but pick them up and back loop only, single crochet into them all the way around, okay? So you see what you're doing? You're going into that back of the stitch there. All right, we're coming up to the end, so we're just going into the back loop only of these last stitches, single crocheting, and I'm actually going to skip the last one, and I'm just going to go right into here, and that just sort of tightens up the edge of the hat. Now that looks really pretty as a brim, and I put this on and it looks really pretty just like that. But I thought I would see how it would look with one more row. So I'm going to just do one more row, But you can stop it there if you want to, because that looks really pretty as a hat brim. When it's on, it looks really, really pretty. But I'm going to try one more row. So if you want to do an extra one, I'm going to skip the first one yet again, and this just sort of works to tighten it up, and go into the back loop only of the second stitch, and then all the way around. So this will be row 35, okay? And I just think it might look really nice. I think it's going to look really nice, yes. So I think I'm going to go all the way around. But as I said, you can just stop. You can stop there. But I'm going to go around, and I'll meet you at the end of this last row. And going into the back loop only with a single crochet. And once again, I'm going to skip that last stitch and just go into the first stitch and pull it through with a slip stitch. Cut off the yarn. And pull it through, finish it off, and then we'll weave in that end. And I think this is a really pretty trim on the bottom of the hat. And pulling it in, skipping a stitch and at the beginning and the end kind of pulls it in to hug and fit the head really, really nicely. I'll just raise my camera. You can see the whole beanie pretty much. And this is how it looks with its trim. All single crochet, so it's a real beginner friendly beanie. I think that it looks really nice, and I'm really happy with it. As a breast cancer beanie, I'm going to weave in this end with my needle and weave in the end in the middle at the back here, and I'll be back when that's finished. I'll just show you how to weave in the ends, because I always forget. Not everybody knows how to weave in the ends. So you go up and down. I'm going into that side part there. Pull it through. It's a good idea to go in 3 different directions if you can, to keep that yarn from pulling out. Go back up and down, up and down. There. You can cut that off. Always pull it tight so it kind of pops back inside. And then we do the same to this piece that's in the middle here from the beginning. Take our yarn needle. Of course, I'm a long way away now because I moved my camera, but just sort of go in and out. Pull it through. There we go. And go back the same way, in and out. Pull it through, and once more in a different direction. In and out. Pull it through. And then cut that one off. And there we have it, our Diane Beanie, all beautiful. So soft, made with this Karen Simply Soft. And it's a really pretty color. And yeah, that's my Diane Beanie, and I'm really happy with it, and I hope you like it too. Okay, so let me know what you think. Please subscribe to my channel if you like my tutorials, and hit the like button if you like this one, and hit the bell if you want to be notified of new videos as they become available on my channel. Thank you so much. Happy crocheting!